Right, got two more. The former saint has only one regret left in his heart. Archibald is probably one of my favorite side characters.
Who in their right mind sends an old man on a scouting mission?
Right.
Oh, goddess take me. I can't wait to retire. Of course, I can't very well do so until the war is over.
True.
What will you do once it is?
I can't say I have any plans in particular. But there is one regret I'd like to remedy. I'd like to find my first love. I still dream of her, even all these years later.
Is that right?
Huh.
She was the general of the Esfrosti forces during the siege of the Citadel of the Sands.
Groma?
The turning point of the Salt Iron War, that was. I never learned her name. We were enemies, yes, but it was clear from the battle we waged how much we admired one another. She caught a beautiful figure on the battlefield. Her every movement was majestic. More than anything, she was a fearsome warrior. Truly, there is none in the world like her. I wonder what might have been had we met in a tavern instead of as enemies.
I see. I hope you can find her then.
As do I. As do I.
It's incredible that you haven't met since.
Well, looky here. Easy mark.
There you go.
Let's get them before they wise up.
There.
He saw us?
We're too far away. Inhumanly possible.
Monster!
His friend's dead. Wow.
How did you sense those bandits from such a distance?
Brats like that will never get the better of me. Till this war is over, I've only begun to fight.
I can see you mean that.
Ah, that's it. I know what I'm going to do when we're done fighting. I'll travel the land till I find the Esfrosti general who caught my eye. It's strange, but I sense her presence wherever I go. Might be she's closer than I think. If that's the case, I'd better do what I can to end this war, and fast. Time to work twice as hard for an early retirement.
What the hell? Funny guy. Alright, last one. Nards heals an injured child with his grandfather's magic. Well, I mean, it's your magic.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen.
Hey there. Are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up. So dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore! Thank you, sir! Grandma, look! My leg's all better now!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
Wow.
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course. course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
Sounds good. Good kid. Alright, so I think we're all caught up now in these. We're gonna go. Frederica hears the voices of the people as she walks into the city. Alright, let's check that out. I can't believe how much of the city is destroyed. It's ridiculous. I tried so hard not to make it
There are
happen.
more who accepted Asphrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
True.
Perhaps. But his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger. Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simon.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well.
Wow.
And he is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
No.
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village. To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Poor guy, he just ran all the way there, getting a break. Ah.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
What do you mean? Or the brigands, Eisen people. Roland takes steps to rebuild the crown city, but Patriarch and the Royalists have other ideas.
The coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith. Besides which, it is the Royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolford will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Huette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
With Glenbrook reclaimed and Aesfrost dealt a heavy blow, Hyzant takes the opportunity to make a strategic move.
House Wolfort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Aesfrosti forces in killing Thallus and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
True.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the Duchy once and for all.
Just because they are licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Norzelian mines. The spark that lit the flame of Aesfrost's aggression.
That's interesting.
But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need? I should have Milo look into the matter.
True. Minister Idor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Aesfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Aesfrost, Glenbrook, they will both be ours before long.
Okay. The path before House Wolfort diverges, meaning they will have to go their separate ways for the first time. Which way will Serenoa take? Let's see.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction.
True.
There is also happy word from Castle Wolfort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Wow.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
Yeah.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
Okay.
What is it?
I suspect Patriot and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolfort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolfort as my Lord Father requests.
No.
2. Defend the Rosellan village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the Royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolfort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolfort, Lord Serenoa, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
Yes.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolfort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me. But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolfort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters. Separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
I cannot help but feel restless. We reclaimed the Crown City and have already begun restoration efforts. There should be no question as to what needs to be done. And yet, sometimes has me unsettled. So, you're choosing, so all 3 options will happen, but you're choosing where you'll go. Return to Wolfforce and tell Simone that Glenbrook has been reclaimed. I don't think that's the right answer. Remain in the Crown City and expose the corruption royalist. That is very important. Travel to Rosellan Village and investigate the bandits. I mean, like, obviously you should stay in the Crown City, for sure. Like, that's a no-brainer. Okay, so there are stuff to be found in here. Are you heading out, my lord? Yes. Let's go have a look around. Mado's here. I must admit, I'm deeply fascinated by you, Lord Serenoa. A lord turned saint who won back his kingdom from Aesfrost's clutches and saw the prince back to his throne. I can only wonder how your people will welcome such a hero home. Pray allow me to accompany you, my lord. If I go to Wolfford, I suppose Mallow will be coming with me. Let's wait. Our salt reserves are running low. We must restore trade with Hyzen as soon as possible. As one of the 77, isn't there anything you can do? You needn't worry so much. The consortium and merchant are already on the move. Let us give them some time. If we rush into a negotiation, we may be taken advantage of. It is our best interest to wait for the opportune moment. No. We must have King Zronan's permission before we act. In the meantime, we are to share the portion of Lotus stores from the city. I'll go with that. Isn't that putting the cart before the horse? If we allow merchants to do as they please, our kingdom will lose face. We will, of course, expedite official restoring trades, but it is critical that we stabilize our salt supplies. And we could accomplish that quicker and avoid an unnecessary confusion by using the merchants. I see. Drastic time calls for drastic measures. It's more important right now to adapt rather than being bound by the usual order of things. You have put my mind at ease, Lord Wolfford. I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, I mean, just who cares? If you're hungry, go get some salt if that's what you need. To think that King Roland was alive all this time. Your house was my utmost respects for helping us retain the capital. My allegiance to the royal family shall not waver, not over and ever. Yeah, that's... Of course, that's fine. You can still be thankful and be loyal to the prince. That's not a problem. I heard some bandits were spotted on the outskirts of the Roland village. Rumor has it they are led by some father and daughter duo. Yeah. What were their names again? A father and daughter duo, that sounds like Tarvish and Trish. But what could he be after? True. Lord Serenoa, I've heard great things about you. You were appointed one of the 77 and even demonstrated your prowess as Lord of a high house in battle. How should we royalists address you from now on? I mean, I'll be honest. I would dismantle the royal family line and start appointing a senate of sorts. We were downright cowards under Aesfrost's rule, but hearing stories of House Wolf's courage in reclaiming the capital has inspired us to do better. Yeah, okay. It's like, oh, well, now that you've done all the work, we'll feel very, very special, and we'll do our best going forward. Ah, I saw something. Amulet of Immunity. That's huge. Superior stone. Superior timber. The royalists, along with Minister Patriot himself, are helping to rebuild the capital. We must reverse all of the changes that Aesfrost has wrought, and see the crown city back to its former glory. I know that there are many problems facing the kingdom now, but us royalists are more than happy to take care of everything. Let us serve King Roland together. Please see the domestic affairs and reassure the people that everything will be okay. It is true that the royalist tries to win the Archer to serve in order to protect themselves. If you want our trust, tell us everything you learn about If you want our trust, tell us everything you learned about Aesfrost under their rule. Hey, this is important information. I wish I could, my lord, but Archduke Gustadolf has had us down almost to the menial task. There isn't anything I can tell you. I should have suspected as much. There is no way Gustadolf would have told anything that those women wouldn't trust. I do remember one thing though. Minister Patriot said that Lady Erika always wanted fresh fruit and wine brought to her room. I see. Thank you for your help. Fresh fruits and wine. Why is that important? Yeah, let's go back. Okay, I'll talk to the undecided.
Lord Saranoa.
We finally managed to rout the Aesfrosti forces from the capital, but it seems our busy days are not over yet. We must decide which issue requires our most attention. I wish to return home to tell my father of our return. No. I believe it's our best to investigate it. I mean, the royalists will be a big problem. For sure. I think we need to do that. You will have us investigate the royalists, my lord. There are many who are unhappy with Ronan's return, and I doubt the royalist activity are doing him any favors. It's true. The Crown City has yet to heal from the previous battles. As the ones who fought in it, it's our responsibility to restore it to its former glory.
Indeed.
You mean to say we should fulfill our duty to the people? I think it's a fine result, my lord. The people undoubtedly understand the bond that you and the kings share. As the last remaining High House, I think it's reasonable to stay in the Crown City, and yet... And yet what? And yet what? The Crown City is finally back in Glenbrook's hands, and our work's far from over.
Listen, lad.
Where do you think we should go? You think we should stay here and help King Roland? Any reason why? I don't want to give either Aesfrosti or Hyzan the opportunity to kick us while we're down. We must get the kingdom back into fighting condition as soon as possible. This problem must be resolved if the kingdom is to make full recovery. It may be too big of an issue for Roland to handle alone. Let's go with the logic.
You're onto something.
I hear ya. We won the battle, but not the war. If we take too long to get back to our feet, there's no telling what they'll come back to strike down whatever next. Which means we have to give them both the Crown City and the royalists their full attention here and now.
I feel this in my gut.
I think it's a fine reason to stay. Very good. As the steward of House Wolford, it is my duty to let Lord Simon know what happened while he was ill. Very true. If the rumor of bandits are true, then Jerome and the others might be in danger. I must go to the village and see my people are faring.
Ah, yes?
Things are slowly settling down in the capital. Right now would be the perfect time to pay the Rosalie village a visit. The rumor of bandits are clearly troubling her. Perhaps you could help her put her mind at ease. Okay. You would like to help His Majesty investigate the royalist. I see. Is the issue such a pressing one? House Wolffort is the last remaining high house. It is our duty to support the king. No. We may have reclaimed the capital, but there is still unrest within the city. I worry of what should happen if we leave Roland on his own. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I suppose the people aren't exactly welcoming him back with open arms after all that's happened. And now the royalists may even be adding oil to the fire. Indeed, it might be unwise to leave His Majesty alone. You are a good friend, Lucinora.
I don't know what to do.
Alas, it seems the Crown City is also in a dire need of our attention. I will remain here in the capital. You needn't worry me about me. You must decide what you are fit to do next round. Yeah, so. We may have freed the capital from Esfrost's clutches, but there's still so much work to be done. As a member of the King's Guard, I wish to stay here to protect the unified city. Yep, that's fine. So it's actually interesting that going to see Simone was actually the least likely option because there's only one of the two.
It is time to cast our votes. We have 3 options before us. Return to the Wolffort domain, depart to the Rosellan village, or stay in the capital. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I stand with you, my lord. You will lead how Wolffort where it belongs.
You have my vote.
After much deliberation, have decided to let your conviction lead us. That's right. So we've already won. That's fine.
You won me over.
I've got no good reason to disagree with you. You have my vote. Yep.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
It's yellow. And yeah.
The way forward is decided. We remain in the capital with Roland and investigate the truth behind the Royalist plot.
True. To be honest, I wish I could send more people away.
I shall remain in the capital and help King Roland investigate the Royalists.
I am in your debt, my friend. Having you by my side is a tremendous boon.
Then I shall venture to the Wolffort domain and make our report to Lord Simon in your stead.
Yep, sounds good.
And I shall see to the Rosellan village. I shan't be gone long, worry not.
Then this is farewell for now. Frederica, Benedict, until our reunion in the capital.
Fair enough. Good. A banner's worth completed. Very nice.